At a time when longtime homeowners are becoming the new homeless, we must take action to stop the dislocation of families who are struggling to make ends meet and stem the further erosion of property values. While we work to build great neighborhoods, we are also working to build safer neighborhoods. I'm proud of our record of standing behind the men and women of our police and fire departments who keep our neighborhoods safe. For 4 straight years, we've kept every police officer and every firefighter on the job, even as other cities were laying them off. We deployed state-of-the-art technology in our patrol cars to give our first responders the latest and best tools to keep our community safe. We've tasked our 2 newest community police officers with keeping tabs on parolees returning to Lansing from the state prison system. The results of our efforts are measurable and positive. According to the Michigan State Police, crime in Lansing is down 16%. I'm so proud of our public safety professionals and the work they do every day to keep us safe. And yet, for all we do, there are still too many people with guns on our streets. Too many young men are settling their beefs with bullets instead of brains. This spring, we will launch a new initiative called PEACE, Police Enforcement and Community Engagement. PEACE is a 2-year pilot program that will take direct aim at the problem of youth violence and guns in the hands of kids by offering youngsters a chance to pull back from the brink and get back on track. We'll use street-smart engagement strategies with young offenders that include peer-to-peer mentoring, after-school programs, and work-study opportunities where they can get the skills and the attitude that they'll need to succeed. Our partners in this initiative include Michigan State University, the Boys and Girls Club of Lansing, and their director, Carmen Turner, and my Office of Community and Faith-Based Initiatives led by Bishop David Maxwell. In these uncertain times, the future of our young people is foremost in my mind. We must find a way to leave them with a better chance to succeed. We must leave them with a stronger city and a stronger state than the one we have now. I remember growing up in Pontiac, where my dad, who came from Italy, worked in the family produce business, then went to work for General Motors. With my mom, they reared 5 children. We weren't rich, but we weren't poor either. We were a middle-class family who used good old-fashioned grit and determination to make a reach for the American dream. The Michigan where I grew up was a state at the top. We were the leaders in almost every category, from education and environment to industry, arts, and culture. Now we're at the top of some not very good lists, the top of unemployment and foreclosures and one-way trips out of state. We can and we must do better. Bailouts and bonuses for Wall Street and baloney for Main Street just won't do. Partisan gridlock and indecision at the state capitol won't do either. I see the failures in leadership in government, the anger and frustration felt by our citizens, the hopelessness that comes from having one's financial security torn apart. And I have to ask, will we be able to deliver to our children and grandchildren the same opportunities, that same shot for the American dream that our parents gave to us? The American dream, my friends, is under siege in Michigan, in the country, and Michigan is in the eye of the economic storm, brought about largely by globalization and free trade. Too many Michigan families are feeling the walls close in around them as their jobs are lost or threatened, their homes are in jeopardy, college tuition rises, and credit card interest rates continually are increased. Now is the time when government at every level must weigh in on the side of working families. Now is the time for us to stand together, not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans and as proud Michiganders to put Michigan back on the right track. And Michigan can only be back on the right track when our families are back on the right track. To succeed where others have struggled, to overcome where others have been held down, yes, to make Michigan work again, we must have a different kind of vision, a different kind of leadership. Wall Street is betting against us, but I'm not. The brokers and the banksters have redlined Michigan and manufacturing, but we are fighting back. Reviving the American dream here in Michigan for us and for our children will not be easy, but I know we can do it. The very successes that we have begun here in Lansing can become a model for all of Michigan. I believe we can harness the fight and the determination shown by the people of Lansing and citizens in this room and across the state. Working together, we will build a future where our children and our families can continue to find and make success right here in Michigan. They don't have to go to New York. They can find it right here in Michigan. They don't have to leave the state. Right here in Michigan. We need our children to be able to build their future in Michigan just as we did. My friends, we spent the past year celebrating our city's 150th birthday, our sesquicentennial. And we celebrated the fact that people of Lansing have always been pioneers. We've been leaders. We've been builders. Today, we are still pioneers, cutting a new path through some pretty thick brush to get to the next Lansing and the next Michigan. We are still builders, harnessing every tool within our reach to create a more promising tomorrow. The question is, are we still leaders? I believe we are, but history will be the best judge of that. However it turns out, the decisions we make today will be the legacy that we leave. I want our legacy to be that of a tough group of folks who got together in the face of adversity, stuck in the eye of the storm. We kept our heads and we used our wits to survive and to thrive. We put our shoulders to the wheel and we got to work building a better future for ourselves, our children, and our grandchildren. I believe that will be our legacy because we will build our own future, one brick at a time, one house at a time, and one child at a time. And when we work together, when we get everyone pulling in the same direction, we can overcome any and every challenge that stands in our way because that's who we are. We are leaders and we are builders. And together we will build a better future for Lansing and for Michigan that leaves no one behind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, and God bless you.